Really, just first of all, to conclude about Coach Snyder, I wanted to hire a big picture thinker. A guy's been a head coach, a guy's been a coordinator, a guy's been a position coach, a guy's been a coordinator at 1, 2, 3 places. He's had relationships with a lot of different people, a lot of players. He's coached on special teams. And so I had a very, very short list when I had an opportunity to look around. And you're always looking for growth. I think that's what when you lose something, you always look somehow, some way, you have to grow in a different direction. And that's part of all this. So really thrilled that Coach Snyder and his family are a part of this program, that we were able to do it seamlessly, much like we did with Coach Bowman and when we hired him, and much like we did with Coach Burton when we hired him. I think we take the next step towards 2015, and I think it'll be a very exciting one. With that, I know there's been a lot of questions about Shilique Calhoun and what he's going to do. So I've sort of felt like this was the best time to make the announcement, but I'll let him make that announcement. Okay? Shilique. You can step up here. There you go, before and after picture. We got to get
on. I guess I can take the opportunity now and just say that, I had a great 4 years here at Michigan State University. I just want to thank Coach D for the opportunity that he's, given me these past 4 years, and to say that I'm going to make another great, my last year, last hoorah, come out and have a great season. With the talent that we have on this team, I know that we can go far, and I want to actually be a part of that team to take us to the national championship. And I believe with, the coaching staff that we have and the players that we have and the dedication to, each other, the passion for the game and the passion to succeed will take us there. So, I look forward to another great year here at Michigan State University. I thank Coach D for the opportunity. And, I just want to thank him also for giving me the opportunity to play here to begin with, because, he's a special man. And he's definitely done a lot of special things here for us, and helping us grow from young men to, young adults. So thank you once again, and I'll see you guys for another year. All right. I'm trying to get out of your hair. I'm trying to get missing.
How tough was this decision?
It was hard, but, like Coach always tells me, you got to understand the value in both, your degree and also, playing in the NFL. But, I know that opportunity is going to come from me. I love being a part of this staff. I love being a part of this group. I love playing under, Coach D. He's definitely taught me a lot. So, another year only looked, brighter for me. It looked like that, another year here would be definitely bright. So the decision wasn't hard when it all came down and boiled down, and understanding who I had, above me, teaching me and guiding me. It was a pretty easy decision.
Shilique, how much did it play into your thinking that you have a chance to win a legitimate national title if you returned?
It was definitely a big factor. I mean, I understand the talent we have here, understand the coaching, and I understand what we can do this year. I know that we have guys who can play, guys who can compete on a national level. So it's just like, as I watch the college football playoffs play out, and I see the two teams that are in the national championship, or the two teams that we lost to, it just shows that we're inches away, as Coach D would say, from being in that game. So it just shows that we have the potential to go there. So it definitely was a big factor in me coming back and understanding how strong of a team we have.
Just, I guess, when exactly did you come to this decision? Did you have an idea going into the bowl game, or did you have to kind of wait and let it play out?
I had an idea going into the bowl game. I knew what I wanted to do. I was just seeing how things played out, wanted to see how, everything unfolded. But like I said, I think last year around this time, the first thing I want to do is get my degree. That's first and foremost. It's always something that, my mom's been prided about. So, and I think that I'll be first in my immediate family to get it. So that's special to me, and then to be a part of this, this program is also special to me.
Shilique, can you just talk about the relationship you've had with Ron Burton? I know when he first came, you spoke very highly of him, and how did Coach Burton's coaching and what he can do for you play into this decision?
As you could tell from, just seeing him and just talking with him, He's one of those guys that's always fired up, always filled with life, and he wants to help, better his players. If that's, bettering them to become young adults or bettering them, on the football field. So, with his guidance, it's definitely helped me grow over the years. And we've grown a relationship that, I can say that it's like a father-son type of relationship where he's always trying to help me. He's always trying to put me in the best situation. So, I thank him for that. And he's also, big, like I said, the staff is a big portion, a big reason on why I'm coming back here, because I love the staff and I love what they do for me, and I love how they help me grow each and every day.
Shilique, you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of kids' families. Yours is extremely unique. They've never seen you as a meal ticket. They've never pushed you for anything. For you, are you able to step back and appreciate having a family that lets you make a decision purely based on want to rather than maybe what their desires would be, not saying yours in particular, but families who push kids for financial reasons?
I mean, it's nice to have my family always support me, which either way I decide to go. It's nice to know that, they're not going to try to push me into a decision and always going to, back me regardless of the, the circumstances. So, I thank them, and I thank, I thank the Lord for, blessing me with, a great family and, blessing me with great opportunities.
I just wonder what feedback you got from the advisory committee.
They told me I was going number 1 overall, and I was like, listen, stop baiting me. I got unfinished business here at Michigan State. No, they told me that I did a good job this year. I just need to be more consistent, and that was the gist of it. Basically, I have unfinished business.
Any more questions for Shilique?
All right, no problem.
Mark, two-part. Number one, was this your biggest recruiting coup for the 2015 class?
I don't think there's any question that our two biggest recruits was the guy that just walked out the door there, Shilique Calhoun, and Connor Cook. I think when you have two guys that are basically All-Americans making a decision to return, I think it gives you a great push for 2015. I think the things that we know about this decision are really 4 things. One, that he is coming back now. That's outstanding. Another, that he is certainly a guy that's going to have an opportunity to be an All-American. He's been All-American 2 years in a row. He's going to have a chance to do that again, be All Big Ten for a 3rd time in a row. So he's going to be a guy that we'll be able to feature and a great player. Number 3, that he was a first-day pick. Maybe not a first-round pick, but he was a first-day pick from the advisory committee, and that's all I'll say about that. But he was a high draft pick, and he made that decision to come back. And 4, that he's going to graduate from Michigan State, which may be of the most value long term. I think it sets a precedent for other players who watch, who are out there, who are looking at how they're going to handle their situations, other families, other players in our program and across the country. And I think it's a statement for education, and it's a statement for maturity. And I think that's tremendous.
Secondly, you're constantly talking about building the program. Decisions like this, for the right reasons, how much does that help you build a program?
Well, the first thing you want to do is thank everybody, the parents, the family, Shilique, for their trust in us as people. Because I go back to what our goals are as a program, and the number 1 goal is to have relationships with our players that will last a lifetime. You don't have a guy staying in this context without great relationships with his position coach, strength coach, academic people, the head coach, and really just that permeates throughout the system. He has a great relationship with everybody, including his peers, and that pays dividends. So first and foremost, it speaks to the trust that he's put in us, and that we've been able to fulfill that trust.
Mark, when did he tell you? He's thanking you for 4 years. It sounded like he was going the other way. And then also, what does this do for flexibility on the defensive line with Lawrence Thomas, guys like that?
Well, I knew a couple days ago. We talked, and we went through it all and had some conversations in terms of what I had been able to gather, information I had been able to gather. But I've always tried to just say there's got to be value to stay and value to go, and you have to choose. And I don't ever want somebody to choose because I make them do something, or I sort of maneuver ourselves. So we wanted to lay it all on the table and say these are good things. These are good good problems to have, good decisions to have to make, just like Pat had to make a tough decision. Well, there were a number of jobs that he passed on until he got the right one. And I think that, there's maturity in that. And so this is another case of waiting for the next year and waiting for the next opportunity. The thing that I think everybody has to understand is he's going to make millions here in 1 year, not only with his education, but everything that a person does throughout their senior year. They're trying to gain ground and make more money. They might not be being paid for it right up front, but they're earning their dollars. They're taking their value, and they're trying to take their value to the next step, the highest level. So he has the opportunity to maybe a top 15, top 20 pick when he comes back next year, and I think that that will pay dividends in the end. It did for Daquez Denard. I have one other person that did this, actually two. Greg Jones did it. I have another guy who did this at Ohio State. He walked into our office and said, I want to come back because I want to win a national championship, and that was Mike Doss, and Mike Doss won that championship in 2002. And I don't think that he would ever change his mind in terms of what he tried to do. Flexibility. Obviously, you got a guy like Shilique coming back. He can play either defensive end. He's a guy that is solidified as a starter, as a star player for us. We can move LT out there. Demetrius Cooper. We've got, like as mentioned earlier, this is our best recruit. There's no question.
Coach,
So we'll be able to move people around. Yes.
Coach D'Antonio, how important was it to you to hear him that one of the reasons that he's coming back is because of this coaching staff?
Well, like I said before, that's our goal, the relationships that we're trying to make with our players, the honest relationships, the tough love relationships that aren't built on winning. They're built on hard work. They're built on sacrifice. They're built on being there when things are not going so well for a young man. So, again, it's another example. It's another opportunity to say we're working in the right direction with young people. And I think that's why you coach. Ultimately, that's why you coach. And I'm very excited, very honored that he would say that, actually.
Tom Izzo told Brandon Dawson when he came back, if you're not coming back to get better and be coached, don't do it. With Shilique, how much fun is it to coach an elite athlete like that likes it, that takes it, that enjoys it, that'll give it back?
Yeah, he's a high motor guy. I think Coach Snyder will see that when he has an opportunity to watch our guys. We have high motor guys. We have guys that will come to work and work as hard in the weight room as they do on the practice field. Guys that enjoy being on the field. When you go into that defensive meeting room that Ron Burton has, and you see the energy in that room, you get excited just walking in there. So he's one of that. He's one of those guys that fills the room with that energy. He and his coach and some of the other guys in there. It's going to be an outstanding defensive front.
Mark, you kind of touched upon this, but what kind of message does this send to the younger players on this team with Shilique Calhoun coming back?
Just an example. Again, an example of maturity. I think that patience is a virtue. I really believe that. Putting education out there as a priority, getting his degree, those type of things. Understanding that there are some intangibles that will lead you to success as well. Whether it's spending a year in a leadership role, spending a year back working on your trade, your football trade, getting your degree, those type of things that can ultimately make a difference for the rest of your life. Guys all good?
Just one question on the coaching staff. Mark, from the start, were you always thinking you were going to go front seven with this? You think you said, yeah.
Well, no, I wasn't, because initially I was thinking, I just left it completely open. Did we want to hire a defensive back guy, the back end, because I know some guys in that respect. And then the more I thought about it, I'm sort of the checks and balances for that position. We'd just be walking all over each other back there. And there needed to be somebody that could go up and do what Pat did, take the defensive ends at times, take the defensive tackles at times during practice, question things that are being done up front, reinforce things that are being done up front. And there needed to be somebody at the linebacker position that would do the same thing. And I did not want to start over and hire a new coordinator. I thought the best thing to do was to bring our guys and allow them to grow. Mike Tressel and Harlan Barnett have done an outstanding job and have been there day in and day out in the building of this defense, as has all of our coaches. So that was the right thing to do. To go up, you have to give up. I think that's natural. When I became a head coach, I had to get up a little bit of our defensive coordinator position. When I was from being I wasn't going to overmanage that. And I think the same thing has to happen with our coaches. If Harlan and Mike go up, they have to give up a little bit. So Coach Snyder will be involved in coaching our linebackers. Coach Tressel will have to script sometimes. Coach Tressel will have to be in there with their linebackers. They'll split the linebackers at times. But there's no question we have a great teacher, added a great teacher, a great communicator, a guy who's coached almost every position, probably offensively as well, a guy that can see the big picture, a great recruiter, a guy who I've seen impact young people on a daily basis at Ohio State, and who's fun to be around, an extremely loyal person. So we're just thrilled to have Coach Snyder here. And at the same time, we wish Coach Narduzzi all the best, because he's been a fixture in terms of what we've been able to accomplish here, and it's tough. It's tough when you leave somebody. You leave a program, and I've gone through that. But the one thing about things, and I say this to our players all the time, if I wasn't here speaking right now to everybody here, there would be somebody else here qualified to do that. Make no mistake about that. And that's how things go. You just continue to take steps forward in your evolution as a program, and that's what we will do. That's the direction we'll go. There is no other direction.
Coach, I know you're not necessarily one for hype, but this defensive line, I got to ask you, could this be the best defensive line that you've coached, and how would you stack up last year's now that the season's over with?
Well, the only guy we're losing is Marcus Rush. Now, Marcus Rush made a lot of plays, as you could see on that last play that he was in, one of the last plays he was in. He made a lot of plays for us. But other than that, we've got everybody back. And that's very, very exciting. And we've got a group of redshirt freshmen that I think will be outstanding as well. So we've added a couple recruits. Well, we're not taking just guys. We're taking guys who can play. So it's going to be very, very exciting to watch our football team this year. We've got some things we need to work on, certainly. We've got some things that we need to inch forward and some different positions that we have to fill. But that's for another time, another day. But we're very excited about the opportunities. And I'll go back to what Shilique said. I have an opportunity to go to Dallas later today to watch two teams that we lost to watch two teams that, hey, if the ball rolls a different way, it may be in our direction, one of those games, and we only need one. But, so we're not that far away. And that's the thing that we can understand as a program right now. We're not that far away from being in that scenario, as well as we could slide the other way too, because this game is very fluid. There's a lot of transition between winning 10 games and winning 8. So, we've got to work towards getting better, and we've got to do that, and we'll continue to do that every single day in 2015. Thanks, guys.